comparing the 1,000-watt mid-drive rickshaw to the 750-watt front hub rickshaw. Stick around. Hey everyone, I'm Dustin. I have nearly 20 years experience in the bike and e-bike industry, and today we're gonna compare our brand new 1,000-watt mid-drive rickshaw to our 750-watt front hub rickshaw. Now, before we get into it, hit that subscribe button below. Stay in touch with us here at 630. Be the first to know about all the new content we're putting out, giveaways we're doing, and of course, new product releases. All right, both of the rickshaws here are linked in the description below if you want to check them out, find out where to buy, and more information. Now, we've got two rickshaws, identical except for the motors. Now, both of these are our newer rickshaws, hydraulic brakes. They both have the hitch attachment. This one is a sample which doesn't, but all the new ones moving forward with the front hub do have the hitch attachment, so you could add the second row of seating or a cargo basket. Now, you can see here on the mid-drive, the motor is located in the crankshaft here. And on the front hub, it is located in the front hub. Now, the Newton meter of the 1,000-watt is 130, whereas with the 750-watt front hub, it is 90. Now, the Newton meter is how you talk about torque when it comes to electric bike and e-trike motors. So you're getting a higher wattage output, and you're also getting more torque with the 1,000-watt mid-drive motor. So if you are deliberating between the two of these and wondering which one is right for you, first thing I will say is that the 1,000-watt obviously is going to be several $100s more. Again, a more expensive motor. Mid-drive motors are always going to run more expensive than a front hub or rear-mounted motor. That's just how it is across the e-bike industry. Now, everything else is created equal. Same battery size, 21 amp hours, same seat, same basket under the seat, same shocks, tires, you name it. So, the reason you'd want to opt for the 1,000-watt is if you are someone that's going to frequently ride hills or very steep hills, and if you want any chance of bringing a passenger up a very steep hill, the 1,000-watt's going to be the way to go. Now, in terms of the 750-watt, you can do hills. I have brought passengers, done lots of videos with me, plus passengers up to 200 pounds, and I can take on hills, no problem with the front hub. But if you're gonna have very steep hills, or you are gonna even take on more weight than a 200-pound passenger, or actually I should take that back, if the rider is more than 250 pounds, the more torque is good. Now, for flat ground, if you do primarily flat ground, I believe the 750-watt front hub is more than enough. The 1,000-watt is a lot of torque. So when you touch the motor or the throttle on the 1,000-watt, it is very responsive and very, very powerful. So again, if you're doing primarily flat ground and your passenger load is 200 pounds or less, then I believe you don't need the 1,000-watt motor. Now, if you're gonna hook up the hitch attachment and put a 200-pound passenger plus some cargo or a second row of seating, not a bad idea for flat ground to have the 1,000 watts, but do you need it? You don't. I have done tons of rides with a second row of seating with my kids and my wife, and on flat ground, I have absolutely no problem with the attachment, 3 kids and my wife with the 750-watt front hub motor. Again, if you have some hills in there and you want to use the second row, opt for the 1,000-watt motor. Now, the difference is, and I'll say it again, if you're someone looking at buying the rickshaw for yourself, you're not going to ride with passengers that much, or you're going to replace the seat with a basket. Again, if you're a heavier guy, like over 220 pounds, the 1,000 watts going to make it easier to get up hills. But if you're doing primarily flat ground and you're a passenger under 250 pounds, the 1,000 watts going to be a lot of power, in my opinion, unnecessary, to be honest with you. But again, if you want maximum torque, maximum power, and if you just want to have the extra power, For maybe when that day comes that you do want to hook the trailer up or a second row of seating, then the 1000 watts is a great option. So all those things to consider. And just one thing I'll mention is I have the front hub rickshaw at my house. I consistently take my 3 kids out for a ride. Their total weight combined is probably, let's say 160 pounds, all 3 of them. I can get them up a pretty big hill to my house. Now the 1000 watt would make that easier, but I do it on the 750 watt. And like I said, I've hooked up the trailer with the 750 watt on flat ground, and it's no problem at all. Once I put it into level assist 5, or I just use the throttle, it can tow all of us with no issue whatsoever. So I think that really sums it up. Just in closing, if you're going to do hills, you're over 250 pounds and you want to make it as easy as possible on you, opt for the 1000 watt. Also, if you plan to tow a lot of cargo, 1000 watts is a good option. But if you're going to be primarily flat ground or lighter loads, 750 watt front hub should be no problem at all. Now, if you have any other additional questions, please put them below or reach out to us, the team at sixthreezero.com, or call us 310-982-2877. Don't forget, both rickshaws linked in the description if you want to check them out. In addition to that, we offer a 30-day test ride your ETrike policy. If you don't love it in the first 30 days, send it back. No questions asked, no money out of your pocket. In addition to that, we'll warranty everything for 1 year. Anything goes wrong in the first year, we take care of it, parts and labor. And lastly, join our community. We have a Facebook group called 630 Peddlers. Join the group before you purchase to connect with existing riders to ensure you're making the right choice. Then when you have yours, post in the group, make friends. And finally, download our app to track your rides and compete on the leaderboard. So thanks for sticking around, and don't forget, it's your journey or experience. Enjoy the ride.